going on, people? Myke C-Town here with another episode of The Wrap Up. And this is where I give my thoughts on a few hip-hop albums that I've really been enjoying currently. And the way this was started is it was supposed to be at least 3 albums per video, but it's been consistently 2, and today is no different. One of the albums that I was wanting to cover for this video was going to be the new Chesky album, Bring Us the Head of Francisco Falls Part 2, but that didn't work out because at the time of this recording, I don't have the lyrics, and there's simply no way to review a Chesky album without the lyrics. So that will have to be in the next video. So yeah, today I'm talking about 2 albums that I've really been enjoying over the past month or so. But first, I actually want to tell you about my partner for this video, and that is the company Dossier. Yeah, it may seem weird coming from me, but I'm actually a big fan of smelling good. And I really like fragrances, but I'm not particularly fond of the high price tags that usually come with them. So that's where Dossier comes into play. I've mentioned this company before. They're a perfume company that specializes in creating impressions of classic, high-end luxury scents at a fraction of the price. You know, one of the best things about them is the lower cost doesn't equate to lower quality. Since when you're buying these big name brand scents, you're paying good money for the brand name, not necessarily the product. So with Dossier, that price break is being passed down to you, the consumer. The prices for their fragrances start at around $29, whereas designer fragrances start at closer to $50. And you know, outside of the price, one of the things that really attracted me to this company is the fact that all of their fragrances are ethically sourced with vegan and eco-friendly ingredients, and they're all 100% non-toxic and cruelty-free. So no animals were harmed in the creation of these scents, which is something that your favorite perfume company may not be able to say. One of my favorite scents that's been a repeat purchase is the Ambery Lavender. It's a nice blend of lavender, bergamot, and some cedarwood notes to it. This one's more of a date night kind of scent. I also really like the aromatic star anise. It's a great one that's more of a casual scent. It's a blend of star anise, rosemary, amberwood, and it's even got some nice pepper tones to it to add a bit of strength to the scent. I also picked up the Orchid and Sandalwood at Dusk fragrance, which is part of their Genderless collection. The card reads, "We've liberated your fragrance from a hypersexualized mold by marrying traditionally opposing ingredients for a harmonious, fluid blend." This one's got some cardamom, cloves, and orchid, but adds some sandalwood and slight hints of patchouli to it. This to me is another more casual scent that's a good day-to-day sort of wear. This one actually might be my favorite of the ones I picked up with my most recent shipment. So be sure to check out the website that's linked down there in the description section. There's an amazing Black Friday sale going on right now where you can get these scents for even cheaper. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that. So the first album I'm talking about today is the newest album from Sadistik entitled At Night, The Silence Eats Me. And if my math is correct, this is Sadistik's 8th album. And yeah, I will start off by saying it's fantastic. All right, it kicks off with the song Astral Pain, and I think this is a really great way to start this album. The beautifully sung vocals, the really nice piano-laden beat, and I love when Sadistik goes over this type of production. You know, the beats that are really sparse, that give him room to play with flows and such. And yeah, he does that here. You know, he brings the silky flows and just floats over this beat. In the deep end, can you depend on weekend friends with pretend tongues? The next song, Eyes Wide Shut, brings those hard 808s that I really love when Sadistik rocks over. The beat's dark, but it has these beautifully, almost angelic sounds moving through the background. Some and all dark days, I'm an outcast. 3,000 double entendres, clouds pass. Overheads anytime one of my songs play. Long day, 9 circles suffered like Dante. Of course, I'm sure you catch the outcast Andre 3000 shout out here, but yeah, I just love the way he kind of throws out that yes, his shit definitely goes over people's heads when the songs play. I want to talk about the song 60. It's one of my favorite jams on this album. It's a great atmospheric beat from Moors here, And this is one of those songs that displays why I think Sadistik is one of the best rappers out right now. He just goes for this whole song. No hooks, no breaks. Sometimes I feel like there's no breaths even being taken. He's just rapping straight. And I could pick just about any random spot in this song and pull out some incredible bars from it. But I really like these lines. Dreamt I was in a dream, maybe I never left. Head in a guillotine, brain starts to evanesce. Better yet, I changed all the pain to an epithet. Devil's breath makes sawtooths out of level heads. Figure with Meat is great. I love the more upbeat production here. It's not exactly the kind of beat that I would hear and be like, you know, Sadistik would kill this, right? But I think he sounds incredible here. I Saw the Reaper is fantastic. I love the really mellow beat that he uses here with the subtle guitar riff and the light drums. It's really dope. And I love the way he spits over this one, man. He has such a unique way of creating these moody tracks and with finding a perfect pocket in these beats. You're All Alone is another standout on this album. The production is an absolute masterpiece in my opinion. I love what they did with the guitar riff and the drums, and the way the beat kind of shifted towards the end of the track was so dope. And you know, it's a really subtle change, but it's just enough. And I love the way Sadistik then changes his approach just a bit once the beat changes. Fata Morgana is an amazing closer. This one has this gorgeous cinematic beat by Televangel, and it features Rituals of Mine laying down some beautifully haunting guest vocals. And Sadistik sounds incredible here. As usual, he's showing how he is a flow master. He's bouncing all over the place here, and it's really amazing and impressive to listen to. But that last verse is really something special. The rhyme scheme that he's playing with here is incredibly impressive. But yeah, overall, this is yet another amazing album in Sadistik's catalog. I don't know how he's constantly coming up with these new and interesting ways to approach songs, man. I feel like I've been saying this now for years, how incredibly dope this dude is, and it's nice to have that sentiment backed up every single time he drops an album. The closest thing that I feel like I can maybe get to a gripe is I personally love when he goes over those really hard, almost trap style beats, you know, Salem Witches, Yokai, Ultra, etc., right? And we get that here a bit with Eyes Wide Shut, but I personally kind of wanted more of those songs on this album. I love the way he approaches that kind of production. But yeah, it's kind of funny that the closest thing I have to a complaint is loving what he's giving us here, but also kind of wanting more of something else that he also does really well in addition to what we have here. But yeah, if you've not yet gotten into Sadistik, or if you've not yet jumped on the Sadistik bandwagon, it is absolutely not too late. This is as good a place to start as any, as I feel like this is some of Sadistik's strongest work lyrically. The dude just gets better and better with every album as far as being a writer, and he's mastered the art of knowing exactly what he sounds good over. So he's an amazing beat picker. But yeah, check this album out, and if you've listened to this already, let me know what your favorite lyric is down there in the comment section. Mine might actually be where he says, "How many cysteines hide in a 16?" That shit is dope. And the next album I want to talk about in this episode of the wrap up is the newest album from Elucid, which is Revelator. And yeah, Elucid is probably one of the most underrated MCs in the game right now, in my humble and sometimes worthless opinion. He's been putting out music, as far as I know, since around 07. And, you know, once becoming one half of Arm & Hammer with Billy Woods, it seems like a lot of people are catching on. I couldn't tell you exactly how many albums he has because this dude releases a lot of music, and I can't tell which albums count as albums versus mixtapes, but yeah, so I don't know. But Revelator is definitely his first album with Fat Possum, and this one is actually a bit different than his previous albums, and I am all the way here for it. It starts off with The World Is Dog, which has this really cool and chaotic beat, which starts off with some hard drums, some buzzed out bass, and these really weird sounds kind of sprinkled throughout the background. And I love how it seems to progress as the song moves along. And as always, Elucid approaches the beat with his unique style where he sounds very urgent and commanding. I am blown away by the next song, CCTV, that kicks off with this really noisy beat by August Fannin, and it's all these sounds flowing in from all over the place in the absolute best way. A moment of clarity on the expressway to your skull, casual 90, it's not automatic, there's no apt analogy for those paralyzed by duality. This dude's pen game is absolutely amazing. And this song actually features the MC Creature. If you're an indie rap nerd like myself, you absolutely know Creature. But for those not in the know, Creature is an underground legend. His album, Never Say Die, is an underground classic. But yeah, I was happily surprised to see him appear here, and he sounds as great as he's always sounded, man. He legit sounds like he's giving a fucking sermon. Angel Wings clipped, tears in a jar sold to the highest bidder, innocence frozen, ignorance exposed those that slither. Bad Pollen is one of my favorite jams on this album. I love the incredibly doomy beat here, and I love what Elucid does with it. I brought a trunk full of tiny violins to the bloodletting. I can play one on each finger for every 7 bodies. His goblet swirls scarlet. Think but won't say, be thankful, it's a sacrifice, not a homie. Earth a greedy bitch whose cup is never full. This one features Billy Woods, who of course shows up to rap his ass off. Gotta keep the devil way down in the hole. It takes 2 men to dig a grave, but I threw dirt on the lonely, if you allow me to paraphrase. Woods also features on Instant Transfer, which is another one of my favorite songs on this album. I love the slow, dark, prodding beat, and I really love the way Elucid bounces on it. And Woods kind of gives a playful bounce in his verse as well. It's really dope. And I love when he says, trying to talk sense to a street dude couldn't be me. Me either. In the Shadow of If is extremely dope. It has this really jazzy backdrop with this really smooth bass line that gets stuck in my head every time I hear it. I don't know who did that bass line, but they're a beast. And the beat goes perfectly with Elucid's somber approach. The way he pitch shifts his vocals, I feel like that can come off a bit weird as his delivery is already really deep and somber. So adding what appears to be an artificial vocal register can come off maybe as like overkill, I guess. But I actually like the way it sounds here. It almost comes across like he's speaking to you from another plane or something. Hush puppies. I can't express to y'all how often I catch myself cooking, singing, must find fried fish, it's Friday. Like, I fucking love this song. I don't know if there's a deeper meaning to this or if it's legit just a celebration of a pretty traditional black ass meal of fried fish and lemon water with sugar, but either way, I love this song. The second I saw the song 14.4 with Sketch 185, I knew it was going to be dope, but I didn't expect them to give us what they did. I love this beat that's really atmospheric. It almost reminds me of something that Portishead would do, but weirder. And let me say, Sketch 185 absolutely killed this shit. All right, Elucid sounded great as always, but when Sketch came in, I was like, God damn. Catch me playing devil's advocate with Steve Albini's Black Friends. That same summer rainbows blackened at the sight of a cop being brought to justice. See smoke in the distance. Know it's meaningful and not what it means to you. Byproduct of gleaming the cube. This verse was already dope, but any MC referencing Gleaming the Cube gets an instant shout out. And when Elucid comes back in after that beat change, oh my God. I'm in your son downtown holding my dick dolo. Ain't no one-ups on me. See, that's a no-go. Illegal chokehold. Yellow tape at the needle exchange. Love pigs, hate cops like the beat never change. Jesus Christ, man. This guy is so good at rapping, I swear. The song Zolo, I assume that's how you pronounce it, X-O-L-O. This song is nuts. Man, the beat on this is so good. The spaced out drums, the thumping bass, the weird soundscapes floating through the background. It's incredible. And it's perfect for an MC like Elucid. And it's just crazy the way it speeds up and gets more frantic towards the end. And it doesn't phase Elucid at all when it comes to how he's approaching the beat. My mouth dropped, no lie. The first time I heard this, I was like, holy shit, how is he doing this? Zig Zag Zig is probably my favorite song on this album, man, and it's one of the best album closers ever. You know, the beat is godly to me. It's got this dark, almost industrial feel to it, and I couldn't imagine any other rapper killing this beat harder, especially when given the subject of the song. War clouds, cruel sky. My nigga survived like a moving target. I didn't watch the video. I remembered in my body. I absolutely love this, man. Now, I don't know all the way if he's just more referencing black folks and what we go through in the United States. Maybe this is a reference to police killings, which I get from the part about not watching the video. You know what I mean? Something I've talked about a lot as far as people sharing videos of black people being murdered as some sort of twisted form of entertainment. When he says, I didn't watch the video, I remembered in my body. I don't have to watch these videos. I remember how this feels. This is something that sits with me. Or it could be a reference to the crisis, conflict, and genocide happening in Gaza, which I got from the line where he says, from the river to the sea in lieu of peace. So yeah, maybe it's either one of these things, or maybe it's neither one of these things, or maybe it's both of these things. But anyway I look at it, it's beautiful, it's touching, and it's incredibly powerful writing. Overall, this is an amazing listen. I love the degree to which Elucid has progressed over the years and how his voice has become stronger and more demanding with each release. And I love how he challenges the listeners with how he approaches music, from the really deep and esoteric way he chooses to tackle topics to the unorthodox way he chooses to flow over beats. And with Revelator, I like how he almost seems to be challenging himself with how he's approaching rapping over these really unique beats. Like, this is definitely his most interesting piece of work that he's done so far, and it's an album that gets more and more fascinating to listen to on each and every spin due to the details and the textures that are here. You know, it's not an album that you just kind of throw on in the background and bob your head to, or something you can actually just like pick apart piece by piece, like the drums this versus the vocals that. Like, this is really an immersive listening experience to me, where everything is coming together to complement the whole. Yeah, this is definitely an incredible album. It's definitely something that y'all should check out. It's one of the best in his catalog, and it's easily one of the best albums to be released this year so far. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Wrap Up. Definitely drop some comments down there in the comment section. Let me know what y'all are listening to, and I will be back very soon with another one of these. We're ditching the whole idea of dropping it on a certain day or dropping it on a certain week. Yeah, fuck all that. We're just gonna drop these when I feel like dropping them, and hopefully y'all can rock with that. But yeah, as usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out.